Have you experienced noticeable changes in your physical strength or firmness during intimate moments and quietly wondered whether there's anything meaningful you can do to address these concerns? Dr. Talia addresses the real challenges that men over 60 face, offering evidence-based guidance to help them understand what's truly happening within their bodies and how scientifically supported training methods can restore strength, control, and confidence through just a few minutes of daily practice. What follows isn't another gimmick, pharmaceutical intervention, or surgical procedure. Instead, this approach harnesses your body's own hidden muscular systems to naturally enhance firmness, stability, and even improve the visual appearance of your anatomy, regardless of your current age or previous experiences. This method works by targeting specific muscles that most men never consciously train, despite their crucial role in sexual performance and overall pelvic health. For countless men, the aging process brings a quiet accumulation of frustrations that they rarely discuss openly. These may include erections that don't feel as strong or reliable as they once were, a downward angle that wasn't present in younger years, or a visual appearance that seems diminished compared to previous decades. While it's tempting to attribute these changes solely to declining hormones or accept them as inevitable aspects of aging, the reality involves a powerful mechanical component of your anatomy that remains largely untrained and underutilized. This comprehensive guide explores these hidden muscular systems, explains how they function in supporting male sexual health, and provides a detailed, step-by-step 3-minute daily routine that has the potential to transform both physical function and personal confidence. The approach is grounded in peer-reviewed medical research and has been successfully implemented by thousands of men seeking to reclaim their physical capabilities and self-assurance. Deep within your pelvic region lies an intricate network of supportive muscles collectively known as the pelvic floor. While this muscular system includes numerous components, two specific muscles play starring roles in determining erection quality and sexual performance: the bulbocavernosus and the ischiocavernosus muscles. These specialized muscles have one primary function during sexual arousal: to trap blood within the erectile chambers and maintain it there under optimal pressure. The bulbocavernosus muscle functions by squeezing around the base of the penis, effectively compressing the veins that would normally allow blood to drain away. This compression creates a hydraulic seal that maintains the blood volume necessary for sustained firmness. Meanwhile, the ischiocavernosus muscle reinforces this pressure system while simultaneously holding the shaft in an elevated position, maintaining the upward angle that men typically associate with youthful, vigorous erections. When these muscles weaken through years of sedentary behavior, reduced physical activity, surgical interventions, or simple disuse, blood begins to escape more quickly from the erectile tissues. The inevitable result includes erections that feel softer and less reliable, fade more rapidly than desired, and lose that stable, lifted angle that characterizes optimal male sexual function. This muscular weakening represents a mechanical problem with a mechanical solution, rather than an irreversible aspect of aging. The implications extend beyond mere firmness. Weakened pelvic floor muscles can contribute to a flatter angle during erection, reduced responsiveness to stimulation, and even a visually diminished appearance. This last change is frequently misunderstood. The actual tissue length typically hasn't changed, but the loss of internal pressure makes the anatomy appear smaller and less substantial than it actually is. The effectiveness of pelvic floor training for male sexual function isn't merely theoretical or anecdotal. A landmark 2005 randomized controlled trial published in BJU International followed men with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction through 6 months of targeted pelvic floor muscle training. The results were remarkable. Over 40% of participants regained completely normal erectile function without any changes to their medication regimens, while an additional 35% experienced significant improvements in firmness, control, and overall sexual satisfaction. These impressive outcomes stem from the improvement of what medical professionals call venous occlusion, essentially, the internal valve system that retains blood within the penis during arousal. When pelvic floor muscles function optimally, they create better closure of these internal valves, resulting in increased pressure, enhanced stability, and longer-lasting erectile function. This represents a fundamental mechanical improvement rather than a temporary chemical enhancement. Additional research has consistently demonstrated that pelvic floor muscle training can improve multiple aspects of male sexual function, including ejaculatory control, orgasmic intensity, and overall sexual satisfaction. The training also provides neurological benefits, as properly functioning pelvic muscles send stronger sensory signals to the brain, enhancing the overall intimate experience and creating a greater sense of bodily connection and control. After age 60, several interconnected factors work together to accelerate the decline of pelvic floor muscle function. Understanding these factors helps explain why previously reliable sexual function may begin to change and why targeted intervention becomes increasingly important with advancing age. Extended periods of sitting, which characterize modern sedentary lifestyles, can literally deactivate these muscles through prolonged compression and lack of engagement. Many men spend the majority of their waking hours in seated positions, driving, working at desks, watching television, or engaging in other passive activities without ever consciously engaging their pelvic floor muscles. Surgical interventions, particularly prostate-related procedures, can disrupt the delicate nerve signals that coordinate pelvic muscle function. Even when surgical techniques preserve nerve pathways, the trauma and recovery process can interfere with normal muscle activation patterns, requiring deliberate retraining to restore optimal function. Natural age-related changes in neuromuscular coordination present another significant challenge. Even when the muscles themselves remain relatively strong, they may not activate at precisely the right moments or with the optimal intensity needed for peak sexual performance. This timing issue can be particularly frustrating because men may feel that their muscles are present and functional, yet they don't seem to work when needed most. The consequences of pelvic floor muscle weakness extend beyond firmness issues. Men frequently report a flatter angle during erections, reduced responsiveness to various types of stimulation, and what appears to be a shrinking appearance. This visual change represents one of the most psychologically challenging aspects of age-related sexual changes, even though it often reflects decreased internal pressure rather than actual tissue loss. Pelvic floor muscle training offers benefits that extend far beyond sexual function, though the sexual improvements often provide the primary motivation for men to begin and maintain these exercises. By restoring proper blood flow and internal pressure, these exercises help fill the erectile chambers more completely, creating a firmer, fuller appearance that can significantly boost confidence and self-perception. There's also a substantial neurological component to these benefits. When you learn to contract these muscles correctly and consistently, you send stronger, clearer sensory signals to the brain. Many men report feeling more connected to their bodies, more in control of their sexual rhythm and response, and able to experience greater pleasure during intimate moments. This isn't merely about physical performance. It's about restoring a fundamental sense of ownership and agency over your body's responses. The training process itself can be transformative psychologically. Many men have spent years feeling increasingly disconnected from their bodies as sexual function declined. Learning to identify, engage, and strengthen these hidden muscles creates a renewed sense of bodily awareness and control that often extends into other areas of life. Beyond sexual benefits, strong pelvic floor muscles contribute to improved bladder control, enhanced support for prostate stability, and reduced risk of pelvic organ prolapse. These muscles form part of your body's core support system, so strengthening them often leads to better posture, reduced lower back strain, and increased overall energy levels. Before you can effectively train these muscles, you must first learn to locate and isolate them. The most straightforward identification method involves a simple test during urination. Try gently stopping the flow of urine midstream using only internal muscles, without tightening your leg muscles, abdominal muscles, or holding your breath. The muscles you engage to accomplish this task represent part of your pelvic floor system. It's crucial to perform this identification exercise only once or twice as a learning tool. Regularly stopping your urine flow can potentially cause bladder problems over time, so once you've identified the sensation and muscle location, you should practice the contractions away from the bathroom and other settings. The sensation you're seeking involves a gentle lifting feeling deep within your pelvis, as if you're trying to lift something internal upward and inward. Some men describe it as trying to pull their pelvic organs up toward their belly button, while others compare it to trying to stop the passage of gas. The key is finding the muscle group that creates this lifting sensation without engaging the larger, more obvious muscles of your thighs, buttocks, or abdomen. Once you've identified these muscles, spend some time practicing gentle contractions in various positions, sitting, standing, and lying down. This variety helps ensure that you can engage the muscles regardless of your position and begins building the neuromuscular pathways necessary for automatic activation during intimate moments. Your foundational pelvic floor training routine should be simple, sustainable, and easily integrated into your daily schedule. The beauty of this exercise lies in its simplicity and the fact that it requires no equipment, special location, or significant time investment. Begin by finding a comfortable position, either sitting with good posture or lying down with your knees slightly bent. Take several natural breaths to relax your entire body, releasing any tension in your shoulders, face, or other muscle groups. This relaxation phase is crucial because tension in other areas can interfere with your ability to isolate and engage the pelvic floor muscles effectively. Gently contract your pelvic floor muscles using the lifting sensation you identified during the location phase. Imagine that you're trying to lift your pelvic organs up toward your ribcage, creating a gentle but definite internal lifting action. Hold this contraction for 3 to 5 seconds initially, focusing on maintaining the contraction without holding your breath or tensing other muscle groups. The release phase is equally important as the contraction phase. After holding the contraction, completely release the muscles and allow them to return to their resting state for a full 5 seconds. This complete relaxation allows the muscles to recover between contractions and prevents the buildup of excessive tension that could interfere with function. Repeat this contraction and release cycle 10 times to complete one set. Aim to perform 2 to 3 complete sets throughout each day, but you don't need to complete all sets at once. Many men find it convenient to spread their sets throughout the day, perhaps one set in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. Several common mistakes can undermine the effectiveness of your pelvic floor training or even create problems if practiced consistently. Understanding and avoiding these mistakes will help ensure that your training efforts produce the desired results. The most frequent error involves recruiting the wrong muscles during contractions. Many men unconsciously squeeze their thigh muscles, buttocks, or abdominal muscles when trying to engage their pelvic floor. While these larger muscle groups are easier to feel and control, using them instead of the pelvic floor muscles defeats the purpose of the training and fails to provide the specific benefits you're seeking. Breath holding represents another common mistake that can actually work against your goals. Holding your breath during muscle contractions creates general body tension that interferes with the isolated muscle control you're trying to develop. Continue breathing normally throughout each contraction and release cycle, using your breath as a tool for relaxation rather than creating additional tension. Some men make the mistake of pushing downward rather than lifting upward during contractions. This downward pressure works against the goals of pelvic floor training and can potentially weaken the muscles over time rather than strengthening them. Always focus on the lifting sensation, imagining that you're gently drawing your pelvic organs upward and inward. Excessive force or intensity represents another counterproductive approach. Pelvic floor training isn't about brute strength, it's about developing control, coordination, and muscular endurance. Gentle, controlled contractions practiced consistently will produce better results than sporadic sessions of maximum intensity effort. One of the significant advantages of pelvic floor muscle training is how easily it integrates into normal daily activities. You can perform these exercises while watching television, reading, sitting in traffic, or during any other relatively sedentary activity. This convenience eliminates the scheduling barriers that often prevent men from maintaining consistent exercise routines. Many men find it helpful to associate their pelvic floor exercises with existing daily habits. For example, you might perform one set during your morning coffee, another set while checking emails in the afternoon, and a final set while winding down in the evening. This habit-stacking approach helps ensure consistency without requiring significant lifestyle changes. The inconspicuous nature of these exercises means you can practice them in virtually any social or professional setting without anyone knowing. This privacy can be particularly valuable for men who feel self-conscious about addressing sexual health concerns or who prefer to work on these issues independently. Remember that this training focuses on developing neuromuscular control rather than building bulk or maximum strength. You're teaching your brain to recruit these muscles efficiently and automatically when needed, creating the foundation for improved sexual function and overall pelvic health. Once you can reliably isolate and control your pelvic floor muscles through the basic contraction and release routine, you can begin incorporating more advanced techniques to further enhance your results. These progressions challenge the muscles in different ways and help bridge the gap between exercise and real-world performance. Neuromuscular control training focuses on teaching your brain to recruit these muscles instantly when needed, without conscious thought or effort. Some men benefit from biofeedback tools or guided mobile applications that provide real-time information about muscle activation patterns. These technological aids can accelerate progress, particularly for men who learn best through visual or tactile feedback. Even without specialized devices, you can practice quick, rhythmic contractions that mimic the natural activation patterns that occur during arousal. These rapid-fire contractions involve short squeezes followed by complete releases, training the muscles to respond quickly and reflexively when the situation demands it. Long hold progressions gradually extend your contraction duration from the initial 5 seconds up to 10 or even 15 seconds, while maintaining complete control and normal breathing. These extended holds build muscular endurance and improve your ability to maintain function during longer, intimate encounters. Quick pulse training involves practicing rapid contractions lasting only 1 to 2 seconds each, followed by brief releases. This type of training builds reflexive strength and helps ensure that your muscles can respond appropriately during spontaneous, intimate moments. Functional practice exercises involve engaging your pelvic floor muscles during normal daily activities, such as climbing stairs, lifting light weights, or standing up from seated positions. This integration helps ensure that your muscles activate automatically during physical activities and creates stronger overall core stability. Understanding the typical timeline for improvement can help maintain motivation and set realistic expectations for your pelvic floor training journey. While individual results vary based on starting fitness level, consistency of practice, and underlying health factors, most men experience a predictable progression of improvements. During the first 2 weeks of consistent practice, the primary change involves developing stronger awareness and conscious control of the pelvic floor muscles. Even if your contractions feel weak or uncertain initially, this period builds the neurological foundations necessary for future improvements. Many men report feeling more connected to this area of their body and gaining confidence in their ability to engage the muscles voluntarily. Between weeks 3 and 5, most men notice improved ability to hold contractions for the full duration and find that engaging the muscles requires less conscious effort. The contractions begin feeling more natural and controlled, and you may notice that you can perform the exercises more easily in various positions or while multitasking. Weeks 6 through 8 typically bring the first noticeable improvements in actual sexual function. Many men report improvements in erection angle and stability during this period, along with increased control and awareness during intimate moments. These changes often provide significant psychological benefits as men begin to feel more confident about their sexual capabilities. Between weeks 10 and 12, the improvements often become more dramatic and noticeable. Many men experience fuller appearance, greater firmness, and renewed confidence in their sexual function. These improvements are particularly pronounced for men whose previous difficulties were primarily related to blood flow issues rather than hormonal or psychological factors. While sexual function improvements often motivate men to begin pelvic floor training, the broader health benefits provide compelling reasons to continue this practice throughout life. Strong pelvic floor muscles contribute significantly to urinary control, helping prevent or reduce incontinence issues that become more common with advancing age. These muscles also provide crucial support for prostate stability and health. A strong, well-coordinated pelvic floor can help maintain optimal positioning of the prostate gland and may reduce the risk of certain prostate-related complications. For men who have undergone or may require prostate surgery in the future, pre-existing pelvic floor strength can improve surgical outcomes and accelerate recovery. The pelvic floor muscles form an integral part of your body's core stabilization system. Strengthening these muscles often leads to improved posture, reduced lower back pain, and better overall trunk stability. Many men notice that they feel more stable and confident during physical activities, with reduced risk of falls or other mobility-related injuries. From a long-term health perspective, maintaining strong pelvic floor muscles provides protection against age-related decline in multiple body systems. This training represents an investment in your quality of life for decades to come, potentially helping you maintain independence and confidence well into advanced age. Sexual performance concerns can create a destructive cycle of anxiety that actually worsens the very problems men are trying to solve. The more you worry about sexual performance, the more difficult it becomes to achieve satisfying results, and the more the muscles lose their natural coordination and responsiveness. Pelvic floor training helps break this cycle by providing tangible improvements that you can feel and control. When you notice real differences in firmness, angle, and control, the mental burden of performance anxiety begins to lift. This psychological shift changes everything. Not just in intimate situations, but in your overall relationship with your body and your self-confidence. Many men report that the sense of control and agency they develop through pelvic floor training extends into other areas of their lives. Learning that you can actively improve your sexual function through dedicated practice often increases confidence in your ability to address other age-related changes through appropriate interventions. The training process itself can be meditative and grounding, providing a daily practice of body awareness and self-care that many men find valuable independent of the sexual benefits. This mindful connection with your body can reduce general anxiety and improve your overall sense of well-being. The theoretical benefits of pelvic floor training become more meaningful when illustrated through real-world experiences. Consider Mr. T, a 68-year-old man who came to his urologist feeling frustrated and dependent on medication before every intimate encounter. He worried constantly about side effects and felt that his spontaneity and natural confidence had disappeared entirely. Working with his healthcare provider, Mr. T developed a simple 3-minute morning routine based on the principles outlined in this guide. He committed to performing his exercises consistently each day, even when he felt discouraged about the slow initial progress. After 10 weeks of dedicated practice, he experienced a transformation that went far beyond physical improvements. "For the first time in years, I felt in control," he reported to his doctor. "No pill, no planning, just me feeling confident again." This transformation wasn't the result of magic or wishful thinking. It was the direct result of strengthening muscles that he had never consciously trained before, despite their crucial role in his sexual function and overall well-being. Remember that you're not just training for immediate improvements, you're investing in your long-term quality of life, relationships, and overall well-being. Every day that you leave these crucial muscles untrained, they continue to weaken gradually. However, starting today with a simple, sustainable routine could produce changes that positively impact every area of your life within just a few weeks. Your sexual health and confidence matter at every age. Taking proactive steps to address age-related changes through evidence-based training represents an act of self-care and self-respect that honors both your current needs and your future well-being. This commitment to your health serves not only your intimate life, but your overall relationship with aging, change, and the ongoing process of maintaining vitality throughout all stages of life.